Welcome to Vanishing Gates. I am Jay, and these are...
The Distracted Jack.
And Katie Cat.
What was that?
I don't know.
It's like greeting the peasants in the
Hello,
motorcade.
Princess Katie here.
Wow. Okay, how was your guys this week?
So far, so...
It was a week.
Okay.
And it's going to start again tomorrow. So.
I agree. It's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
We hit the gym again today. That was fun.
It was fun, actually. I'm enjoying it.
She's all pumped from using the weights.
Yeah, I'm ready to get in shit.
She's swole. Anyway, so we have a topic this week. It's going to be part of a series. We don't do enough of those, apparently. The Mel's whole series seemed to take off pretty well. So we're going to go and change things up a little bit. The Appalachian Mountains. We're going to talk about some of the goings-ons there. Things to that effect.
Which goings-ons?
Oh, you asked that. We'll get there. The Appalachian Mountains are the oldest range in North America. Did you know that, Jack?
I thought the Rockies were.
No, it's older. Its formation dating back over 1 billion years. I think it said 1.1 billion years. That's a long-ass time ago. Allegedly, it's older than the rings on Saturn. And no, that's not in my notes. I put that here in the Mind Palace.
Wait, how do they know?
They were there recording it, but the rings on the trees go round and round. I don't know, dude. How do I know? I'm not a scientist.
I'm just saying, did they say that carbon dating is actually debunked or whatever?
I don't think that's true. Anyway, so it runs through large portions of both the U.S. and Canada, and, it's super flippin' long. Thousands of miles. The Appalachian Trail is something like 3,000 miles long.
More than 20 feet.
Way more than 20
And where
feet.
is it?
Sure.
It runs from... That's actually a good question. I didn't write that down.
Tennessee, right?
A huge chunk of the U.S.
Quebec
and
or
Canada, in the East Coast.
So it goes across the states.
It goes
Multiple states.
Yeah, all of the bottom states all the way up into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it formed when two supercontinents slammed together and folded the rocks upward.
Jesus.
Frank?
So essentially two tectonic plates hit each other and then...
No, it was two supercontinents going boom. They're making a baby mountain range. They shoved shit together, and all the stuff went like this, and the rocks and the minerals went like that scientifically.
Scientifically?
It's going to be a very scientific episode. Now, it is home to native tribes, moonshining, Jason Aldean loving country folks alike, and even peeking into Maine where there's only one gas station. The gas station was once run by my cousin for some time.
Really?
Which cousin?
And he said that there was as many girls there as there was at one gas station in Maine.
One girl?
Now, that's up for debate because I know at least one other person who claims to be from Maine who's a girl. But listen, it's up for debate because I know at least one other person who's a girl who claims to be from Maine. But much like Australia,
she's the only
it's
girl.
probably a ruse.
What if she's the only girl?
My cousin did own a gas station in Maine, but it wasn't the only one. Aside from the myth that it's girls from Maine and other gas stations, the Appalachian Mountains are also said to be home to a cavalcade of other things and happenings.
Okay.
Yes, a cavalcade. In this series, yes, like I said, another series, folks, we'll be discussing some of these things. Dun, dun, dun. Nobody?
The unexplained.
I gotta train you guys a little better. But
Dun 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 dun.
all right. Before we continue, please don't forget, if you like this video, and even if you don't, to like us, subscribe,
Hit the
and
subscribe.
put some shit in the comments.
I think it's right here.
So, is it over there?
It's gonna be
It's right here.
somewhere here. We're so professional at this.
It's over there.
So, the first thing that we want to address is Katie's future baby daddy, Mothman. Your favorite.
Wow.
You like
What
Mothman?
was that bumper sticker you saw that you liked?
Mothman. What was it? I can't remember. It was funny though. I have a Mothman sticker on my car.
She do, in fact, have a Mothman sticker.
Mm-hmm.
She has a thing for Mothman. Mothman, or maybe during Pride Month, Mothman! Do I look like a man to you?
It's ma'am.
Yeah. Mothman,
Can you imagine Mothman coming in and just being like, it's
all
ma'am.
pissed off, like, I'm a lady, god dang it! I'd be like, sorry, my bad. Mothman.
I do love me some Mothman.
Mama.
Moth Mama. Mother's
Moth
Day.
mommy.
You should get a bumper sticker that says, "I love Moth Daddy."
Moth Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh God, Mothman is first noted in Point Pleasant, Ohio,
It's Moth Person.
and he's
It's
made
Moth Person.
and he's made appearances in various parts of the country. We've done some Mothman shows before, so feel free to check out those videos if you haven't already after you watch this video, of course, that you're watching right now, because you want to see all of this glory. Anyway, Jack was supposed to be in that too, but he's so far. The special differentiation here is awkward. We need to work this out one day. I wasn't talking about you.
I'm in the middle, so.
Anyway, so let's discuss Mothman. So we talk about the first sighting. We've done the show about Point Pleasant and the collapse of the Silver Bridge. There's a lot of conversation about what does Mothman look like. Who wants to tackle this moth of a different feather?
A moth. Man.
Can we try?
He's got big wings, and he's got like big red eyes, and like he has like little like things that stick up on his head.
Things that stick up on his head.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's about 8 to 9 feet tall.
Like
I think it's
antennas
the theory.
or whatever. Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty big.
He kind of, I think the depiction is more like, it would be closer to like a slender man with wings, essentially.
I think it was more
really
like an
thin.
owl type thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
I mean,
A
you
lot of
could
people
look
describe
up a
it as an owl.
picture.
Because some of them are insectoid like sculptures and stuff, and some of them are like an owl.
There's a Mothman statue somewhere.
Yes, and it looks like a
Where
bug.
is it?
Most people,
Maybe
it's
where it is.
Point Pleasant.
It's in Point
Yeah.
Pleasant, Ohio.
Most people, when they talk about when you talk about like the Mothman stories, they describe it as like an owl. Like a giant owl.
Like an owl / moth / man.
Yeah,
Well,
like all
the-
these things went together and had a thing that was moth person.
Yeah.
It's probably a
We don't wanna
shapeshifter of
misgender
some
it too
sort.
much.
I mean, we could even like edit in a picture later.
Yeah, we'll add a picture maybe. Katie will do that in editing and post. So we know what he looks like. Now, what is he? Is he a harbinger of doom, some say? I mean, he showed up at the Point Pleasant Bridge right before the collapse. He shows up in Chicago where there's shootings every single 5 minutes. We should have a ticker for every time there's a shooting in Chicago.
We
like
need a
right
Chicago ticker.
here. If you go to heyjackass.com, that'll tell you all you need to know about Chicago.
I think there's been sightings of him everywhere.
All
pretty much.
up over the place. There's even been sightings of him outside of the country, but usually it's around the Appalachian
It's
area.
yeah.
I would say, the question though is like, is he a harbinger of doom? I actually had that thought today. I was sitting there, I was wondering because I saw someone, they reported a video of like the Hat Man, and as we know, the Hat Man, the lore of the Hat Man was he was based around some suicides that happened, where I think he was on tribal land, and then a bunch of suicides happened with teens, and I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, I wonder if these creatures like the Hat Man and now Mothman, if not necessarily that they're bad or they create bad ill, it's more like a, hey, fuckheads, open your eyes, something shitty's about to happen. Be very prepared, because something bad's coming at this moment.
Okay, the question is, what do you think? So do you think they're a harbinger, like a warning, like a helpful warning? Hey, pay attention.
I
to
think
your
it's
surroundings?
they'd be like a natural creature that would show up and be like, look, something's about to happen right now. You need to focus and move.
So
like,
your vote is it's a happy helper.
maybe even like spirits of the woods, like the quote unquote Wendigo. Maybe the reason people say, well, I saw one and I got away, but these things are like, if the stories are true, they're unnaturally fast and strong as hell. You couldn't get away from one if you wanted to.
Yeah, but the Wendigo aren't there to be nice. They're there to eat your soul.
But I don't think. I wonder if that's a lore told via human. Think about it like maybe it's more like a nature spirit, like it protects a certain forest, and it's more like a warning, like a threat to get out of the area, or maybe something's there, like a bear, and you're about to encroach, and it's more like it shows up to get you to run the fuck off. And it's basically trying to get you to move, not trying to kill you.
Did anyone else catch what he said?
What?
Let me know in chat.
Her.
Anyway, we're moving
I don't
on.
think I
So,
saw that.
Wait, what did
you
I say?
think he's there as a helper, not so much a harbinger of doom? A
Yeah,
harbinger in the
I
way
think-
that it's a warning, like a friendly,
Well,
hey,
I can't be sure,
careful. But it's just there to warn people of.
Well, I can't be sure, but the thing is, it's like,
Well, you can't be sure because we don't know if it's even real.
yeah, I doubt it's real, but if it was something that was real, theoretically, the stories around it aren't really it doing any damage to anyone. More like it's like warning them.
Okay, so you think he's a warning helper. What do you think, Katie Cat?
I mean, is the Mothman known to be like bad? Is he
Well,
known-
bad things happen right after
he
people
known
see
to-
him usually.
Yeah, is he like like I'm trying to think of like something that we've. He's not like a skinwalker or something.
No, he's supposed
You
to be
know.
something that shows up
He's not killing
before
people.
something ominous.
You know what he is?
Yeah.
I think they're called sunfish. I think that might be the term. There's a certain type of fish that when Japan's about to have an earthquake
Oh,
or
yeah,
a
yeah,
severe
Comes out of the
tsunami or
water or
something,
something?
it comes because they live deep
They can
and they
feel
only
it.
show up when something's
There
about
was
to happen.
just one that
Because they
showed
can feel
up.
it,
There was
probably.
one that washed ashore on the Oregon coast like this.
No,
last week.
that was a different type of fish. That
was a giant sunfish.
They say if
Was that
we
something?
if we see one that it's something's bad.
Well, it
Gotta-
just showed up on
I must be wrong.
Well, our
there.
harbinger of doom in the Oregon coast last week. So that's the
Well,
prayers.
it's Oregon, so.
We have the same coast.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
that's a.
We share the coast with Oregon.
I must be getting the name wrong because I don't think it's a sunfish. It's like an oarfish. It's an oarfish.
An oarfish.
Yeah, the
They look
oarfish
like
show up
They look
in
like sea
Japan.
monsters.
Yeah, they're kind of like sea monsters.
Yeah,
live
they
deep.
wash up on the shore in San Diego once in a while, about 40 feet
And
sometimes.
They only show up during like earthquakes or like tsunamis or something like that because it moves across the bottom of the ocean. Like a tsunami will actually move across the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean before it moves to the top, so you won't actually see it. So that actually, I think it shoves them up. Probably it pulls them up, or they're moving out of the way so they don't get blasted. Because the weird part is like fish can actually be hurt by the heavy tide because the tsunami is an unnatural force moving, and they
Yeah.
are very
Well, it's
strong.
pressure.
Yeah, it's an extreme
Pressure slamming
force.
against anything is insane.
So anything on the bottom has to be able to, they withstand extreme pressures anyways. Being down
Under
there.
pressure.
But adding on
pressing
top of that probably hurt a lot of them.
Pressing down on fish. Anyway.
But yeah, so maybe he's like an oarfish. He just shows up and then he's like depicting a disaster.
Yeah, maybe
he's just a
he-
natural form.
So
of
he's just
water.
Yeah.
accidentally there. He doesn't even want to be there. He's just minding
He's
his own
kinda like,
business,
you know,
and then
like-
bad things happen. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm sucked in on now."
Yeah, he's stuck into a portal right there.
He's kind of like birds. When there's a big thing of birds that are flying around, they say something's gonna happen, like crows or like
I think it's
whatever.
usually a horror movie trope. I don't think that happens in real life.
No, they say
They
like
usually leave.
it's something to do with like a storm or I don't
maybe.
know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I usually just see
Or
them
like
leave.
vultures, they obviously they fly around if there's something dead.
They're
around,
looking for
but
carrion
yeah.
usually.
Anyway,
Well, do you think he's of this world, or alien, or other dimensional, or
Probably natural if he exists here.
I don't think he's alien.
Some form of nature.
or anything? He's from
I think he's of this world. Yeah.
Appalachian.
If he's real, he would be natural.
If he's real, he's some kind of creature, like some kind of.
Do you know?
Animal.
Do you know what the number one place that watches the Learning Channel is? The Appalachian territories.
Wasn't the Appalachian
They also have
like
the
a
words like
place where you can live?
educational system.
Yeah, the Appalachian
Appalachians?
Mountains. That's what we're talking about.
They also have like the
Oh,
lowest competency
yeah, I've
rating
heard
for
about
You
reading.
this.
just
then.
put that together.
Yeah, and the people that live there like experience all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah,
That's what we're
Appalachia.
talking about. Yes.
Oh.
They experience like
now
all
I know.
sorts of weird
Yeah,
shit.
I've heard about it.
But no, they also have like one of the lowest. Don't they have like one of the lowest?
This goes back to the Mel's hole thing.
Oh, God.
The mysterious hole.
They're really one of the problems about one of the things about Appalachia though is also they also have some like the lowest literacy rates and schooling, but it's not the fault of the people there.
Well,
What's
there's
happened is
not a lot of people there.
I didn't
no,
say, guys.
and that's one of the problems. There used to be a lot of people in a lot of those towns because a lot of them were mining towns, stuff like that. And then what happened was the mines dried up, or they shut them down for whatever reasons, for like environmental reasons. And then a lot of those towns just wound up dying. And so those people that have kids that are there, they don't really have enough to have like a big school. So they usually have like small schoolhouses, and then some don't even go to school. They're homeschooled. But there's a lot of things that cause them to not have access to the same educational system as everyone else.
Now it's funny that we talk about the Appalachian Mountains again because we talked about it last week with our last episode with the disappearance of the gal at the Great Rocky Mountains or whatever it was. No,
Yeah,
whatever it was called.
the Rockies, I think.
It wasn't. The Rockies
Was it
are a
Rockies?
different range. No, it was a specific
National
park.
parks.
National park.
You're talking about a national
Anyway.
park.
It was a national
wow,
park.
we
It was a
remember
national
all
park.
of this. There's a button right there, probably.
I don't
with it
pay
on
any
there.
attention to what I say anymore. So,
Yosemite.
not all.
It was Yosemite.
No, it wasn't. That's
We
in
were talking-
California.
We were talking about Yosemite.
I know that was a separate.
We were talking about different.
We talked about the Rockies, Yosemite, and
No, we weren't talking about the Rockies.
what's the third one? What are we talking about? My
Anyway.
God.
Anyway,
I don't remember.
not all Appalachian monsters are as desirable as Mothman. Our next little furball isn't so cute or little.
What if
Imagine
he
you're-
is?
Imagine you're walking in the woods by a stream alone. It's a peaceful, dusky evening. You're minding your own business, gathering mushrooms for cooking, and the wood grows suddenly quiet around you. The birds stop making noise, the crickets shut up, the cicadas are suddenly very quiet, like it's the dead of the winter. Like that? Yeah. When suddenly you hear something ahead in the woods, and you kind of come across a bit of a clearing. On the edge of the clearing, you see it. A huge panther, but it has 6 legs. Now, you might be near a nuclear reactor, or a Twinkie facility, or a Mountain Dew brewing facility. But you may have just seen the Wampus cat, also known as the Cherokee Death Cat, Galliwampus, or the Whistling Wampus, which is just really fucking fun to say. Wampus, 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 Wampus.
Whistling Wampus.
Wampus.
It just sounds like something you would come up with when you're a kid.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sounds
So Whistling
made up.
Wampus. Say it 5 times fast, Whistling
Whistling
Wampus.
Wampus.
Whistling Wampus, Whistling Wampus, Whistling Wampus,
Couldn't do
Whistling
it.
Wampus.
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka.
Did you say Willy Wonka?
Yes, Willy Wonka.
In 1918, the Greenville Sun reported a Wampus is reportedly roaming the big bridge vicinity of Gethsemane. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Here's one for editing. Dot. Go back on that. Start over. In 1918, the Greenville Sun reported a Wampus is reportedly roaming the Big Ridge vicinity of Gethsemane. So there's at least one article that talks about it, makes reference to the Wampus cat.
Wampus.
Now, where the heck did the Wampus cat come from? You might ask.
A Wampus?
Yeah. So let's talk about where it came from. Cherokee legend has it that it was a woman who spied on a sacred and forbidden ceremony. She did this by hiding under the pelt of a mountain lion, which one does when it's cold outside or you're trying to spy, and which tracks 100% scientific to how someone becomes a Wampus cat.
Okay, hold on. So let me get. What if she had been hiding?
Peer-reviewed study.
What if she had just been wearing like a raccoon hat?
Science.
What if she'd been wearing a raccoon
It's
hat?
not a Wampus
with
raccoon, sir.
With a mountain lion pelt and a bear's paws on her feet, and then maybe a coyote belt or something. Like, what would have happened then? Would she just become like a fucking chimera? Or does it just pick which one it likes the most and then go, okay, you be that one. But you have to be that one. You can't be the other one.
This is why Jack's not in charge of making legendary creatures.
I don't know what power creates these things, but if it made me a mountain lion and I was wearing bear clothes, I'd be like, well, why not the bear?
So aside from the brief description on the earlier story I told, where you were prepping into this deep topic that we're going to delve into, claw and teeth.
Teeth claw.
What does a Wampus cat look like? Well, eyewitnesses describe the Wampus cat as a large creature with a bobcat's face, not Goldthwait, but the cat. Often said to be like a cross between a cat and a human, also not like Bobcat Goldthwait. With long, sharp claws and fangs, like any other cat.
But unlike Bobcat Goldthwait?
Unlike Bobcat Goldthwait, well, he might have long. You never know. His glowing yellow eyes, like Bobcat Goldthwait and most black cats. Eyewitnesses have reported seeing a creature with muscular, feline body covered in dark, matted fur, accompanied by a long, muscular tail. Katie and Josh just both got verklempt. Like how that long, muscular tail got you guys.
I don't know why the smoke is blowing that way.
It goes that way.
If it's not Mothman, it's a Wampus cat tail getting these two riled up.
It's the Wampus. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. You think she's not going to be excited about this story? It's a cat. It's a giant 6-legged cat that she can have. Like, if she just goes to Appalachia.
Oh my gosh.
And then she can have a cat with 6 legs. That's rare.
Don't lie, you'd try to cuddle it.
You would so try to tame it. You'd be like, here's a steak.
I mean, if it was friendly.
Get in the car.
Hashtag not friendly.
Hashtag very not friendly.
Anyway.
If not friendly, why?
Just don't pet its
why
belly. It won't kill you.
friend-shaped if
You know
not
what?
friendly?
I bet they try to pet its belly, and that's what's
Why
happened here.
friend-shaped if not friendly? Is that
Why
what you said?
friend-shaped if not friendly?
This is why we're going to have a hard time keeping her safe when we go on our Bigfoot hunting camping trip.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
I bet you they tried to pet its belly, and that was the trap. They fell for it every time. It just laid back, 6 paws open, like, what's up? It's like,
Thank God
now you're
Moggy
fucked.
doesn't have an extra set of paws. So, some people say the creature has the 6 legs and is more like a half cat, half dog hybrid. Some people say it stands on 2 hind legs.
would that be like a
and
fox?
has just long clawdy claw things. What?
Wouldn't that be like a fox? A fox is kind of halfway between a cat and a dog.
In what world do you think a fox is somewhere between a cat and a dog?
I don't know. Fox is the only thing I
In
think of
weight?
that remind me of a cat or a dog. You can confuse them for a cat. If you're stupid.
Mostly a dog, though.
In fact, they are a dog.
Wow. Just shut me down. You know what? Just shut me down when I was
Just go with a possum.
Don't
if you
support
want
me
to do
or
that.
anything.
Just go with an opossum if you want to do that.
Don't just not be like, sure.
Most,
Jack, go ahead.
most of the other attributes sound like a mountain lion. Like it screams like a woman. It's agile, stealthy, and fast. Mountain lions scream like women. You've never heard that?
It's not untrue. It's
They scream like somebody getting murdered.
I thought they screamed like
They
babies.
scream like a woman in distress or a young baby in distress. Yeah.
No, this was. And also,
Wait, hold on. Let's do this again. Katie's trying to call the Wampus cat in. I wonder if it tries to do that, but it's a whistling Wampus, and it does that because from the Appalachians it's missing its front teeth.
but
So
you
it whistles when it does it.
but it's very true. Like if you grew up, like where we grew
You
up,
can't
we have
whistle.
mountain lions. You hear a lot of stories about that. You'll hear, like the sound of a crying woman or a crying
Yes.
baby.
But it's a mountain
I've
lion.
heard
They
it.
make that sound. It's terrifying.
It's
It is-
creepy.
I've heard it.
It's like I said. I said I was talking to like when I was talking to Danny. I looked at her and I go, you know, because I was tickling Carter, was giggling. I said, you know, a baby's laughter is the greatest thing in the world, except for 4 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, and you don't have a baby in the house.
Oh,
That would be awkward.
Not so cute anymore nowadays.
Some people also say that when you're trying to fish, you'll know a Wampus cat's around because you'll be getting fish all day and suddenly none of the fish will bite. A bad smell comes around.
Isn't it pretty common most predators like things kind of things get really quiet.
Yeah. Or things that aren't supposed to be there. Not so much predators. Everything will freeze. Like deer will stop for a second, which is a really smart decision if you want to be food. That's why they get eaten. And then so they say that it does that, and then like there's a bad smell, which is because you haven't changed its litter box. Some people say it becomes invisible, which is super convenient. As to why we don't have any pictures of it.
Well, that does help.
People say
It's
that about
the
Bigfoot
predator.
too. We don't have any clear pictures because it could become
This
invisible.
explains a lot. I bet you the way she became the Wampus cat was exactly the same time that Arnold Schwarzenegger and his team was going through the woods, and the predator just made friends with it and gave it one of those cuffs, so then it could become invisible like him.
What?
And that's how it happened. The Wampus cat just has a
I
predator
think I just had a
technology.
stroke again.
It's just half predator,
So-
half Wampus now.
Last time he talked.
Just as freaking believable as the Wampus cat.
No, because some dude wrote the Predator script. This goes back to ancient Cherokee folklore, this story. Yeah. An evil demon called Iwa, the spirit of madness, had been terrorizing the village of Etawa, or Chota, depending on the version you hear, in what is today North Carolina. The village shamans and war chiefs called for a meeting. The wise shamans told the war chiefs that sending the braves to hunt and kill the Iwa was surely going to be the end for the tribe, for the Iwa, and had the terrible power to drive men mad with a glance. I know girls that do that. The war chiefs argued that the Iwa could no longer feast on the dreams of the Cherokee children and that something must be done. Together they agreed that the strongest brave would go alone and bring great honor to his family and tribe by killing the mad demon. Standing Bear, or Great Fellow depending on the story version, was the strongest, fastest, sneakiest, smartest, and most respected brave in all the Cherokee nation. He was chosen to do battle with the demon. As he walked from his village, the shamans blessed him, and the war chiefs gave him many fine weapons with which to slay the beast. And on the edge of the town, his wife, Running Deer, bid him final farewell. She would never see him the same way again. Weeks went by, and there was no word from Standing Bear. Suddenly, late one night, the stricken brave come running back into the camp, screaming, clawing at his eyes. One look, and Running Deer knew her husband was no more. With time, he would be able to pick berries and work in the fields with the young girls and the unmarried widows, but he would never be any good as a husband again. And by Cherokee law, that meant he was dead. It's kind of a rough law.
God damn, Cherokee.
Jesus.
They're like, fuck that guy.
I can
Or,
pick,
you
I
can't
can
fuck
pick
that
berries
guy.
and kids.
Cherokee
Would he come back with a helmet licking windows? Fuck's sake.
Cherokee
Even those
don't
guys
mess
can work at
around.
McDonald's or run for Congress. Standing Bear's name was never again mentioned, but Running Bear had loved her husband, and she wanted revenge. Hell hath no fury.
It's like a guy
Running
that's
Deer
scored.
went to the shamans, and they gave her a booger mask, whatever that means.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I just read it as it's said. A booger mask, a bobcat's face.
A booger mask.
I guess it's a bobcat's face mask, like they took the skin.
Where's the
I
word?
want to take his face.
Wait, where's the word? Face up?
Booger.
Are you you spelled it right?
Booger. I copy and pasted. I'm going to read what site from. I didn't spell that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write this.
A
bobcat's face. And they told her that the spirit of the mountain cat could stand against the Iwa. But she must be the one to surprise the demon. The war chiefs gave her a special black paste, which when she rubbed on her body, would hide her scent as well as her body goo. That was poo. 100% poo. It would hide her scent as well as her body. She kissed her former husband on the forehead. I'd be like, dude, wash first. His blank eyes staring and headed off to seek her revenge. Running Deer knew the woods as well as she knew the village, and she ate sweet berries to keep up her strength over the many days. But still she came across no sign of the Iwa. Then, late one night, she heard a creature stalking down by the stream. As she crept slowly towards the creek, she heard a twig snap behind her. She spun, and just as suddenly realized how quickly it could have been the end of her. Behind her, a wily fox darted across a pathway. If that had been the Iwa, I would be mad now, the widowed Cherokee woman thought to herself as she continued towards the creek.
Perhaps
At the edge, we're all mad down here. At the edge of the creek, she saw footprints which did not belong to her, and her former husband's breastplate lay at the edge of the water. I didn't know that Cherokee wore body armor.
Probably leather.
I don't think they had forges.
Well, it's probably leather.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic.
Probably leather.
Anyway,
More likely
as she followed the prince upstream, she saw the demon. Its hulking form lurched hideously over the water, drinking from the pristine mountain spring. The Iwa hadn't seen her. Running Deer crept ever closer, and just as she felt she could bring herself no closer, she sprang. The Iwa spun and saw the cat spirit mask and began to tear at itself as the spirit of the mountain cat turned its powerful magic back on itself. The Iwa tumbled backward into the pool, and Running Deer immediately turned on her heel and ran as fast as she could back to the village, never once looking back. When she arrived home, she sang a song to herself, a quiet song of grief for her husband, but also of joy of the demon's banishment. The shamans and war chiefs declared Running Deer the spirit talker and home protector. Some say the spirit of Running Deer inhabits the Wampus Cat, and that she continues her eternal mission to watch her tribe's land, to protect them and their people from the demons that hide in the dark and lost places of Tennessee. That story can be found at AppalachianHistory.net, and you can tell she's doing a great job with all the white people that came and took the Cherokee land. So, she's either not very efficient, or that's not what the Wampus Cat really is, if it's real.
Well, I'm gonna have to take a trip out there just to see the Mothman.
Okay.
Just
So,
see the Mothman.
I just had a couple questions.
Like a conjugal visit from
I want to see the
Mothman.
Mothman.
I just have,
What's that voice?
I have a few questions about the
Yeah.
Wampus Cat. I need some clarification.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so this entire time, they armed him, they armored him,
Uh-huh.
they gave him their best equipment,
Uh-huh.
they sent him into the woods.
Yeah.
He came back crazy.
Mhm.
They looked at the girl and they said, here's a mask that'll do all the fucking work without any real problems,
Mm-hmm.
and sent her. And everyone thought, hey, we could have done that the first time. We could have done that the first time.
If this was CSI, those tribal leaders would probably be in handcuffs by now for the conspiracy they had
Fucking negligent.
against Standing Bear.
Standing Bear.
He got
Justice
screwed.
for Standing Bear.
Justice for
Standing
Hashtag
Bear.
justice for Standing Bear.
I am so pissed right now. Standing Bear got screwed.
He got thrown under the bus, bro.
This was an assassination attempt. He is dead by tribal law because of them. And that is bullshit.
No. They did that shit on purpose because they wanted to take over.
And yeah, exactly.
A hostile
And I
takeover.
bet you he was protecting the tribe. But not just that, but I want to say something real quick.
And they probably had a thing for her.
She essentially did what every bad person does in a movie when they throw the bad guy off and try to let gravity do the work. She turned around and ran away before she knew the thing was fucking gone or dead.
Double
So
tap.
It's probably still there. She just but she's protecting
Double tap.
it. And how did she become the Wampus? Didn't someone have to look at a sacred fucking ritual to become the goddamn Wampus? So what did she do?
Well, that was a sacred ritual this time in this
Man, you're
story.
pissed about this.
Nothing makes sense at the end. They
It's
just
really
got really
worked out.
lazy and just decided to throw some shit together.
I know,
But
this is-
stuck.
I think I know where the chick that writes the Acolyte gets her heritage from in story writing skills.
Holy shit.
Well, we got to fill up the next 10 minutes for the show to be over. Let's just have it scare the thing into the water.
Yeah, it'll hurt
Demons
itself.
are allergic to water, right, Ted?
I
Like,
think 30 minutes.
Yeah,
is
it'll
good.
it'll
Sounds
claw
good.
its own face off, and then you just run away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it'll be dead, right? Yeah. No problem. Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Like-
we're gonna. I don't know, man.
Could you imagine being the Wampus cat and what really happened there was it was probably taking a shit and she walked
I
up?
think-
We should look up some pictures of the Mothman.
Calm down,
Listen,
Katie.
I'm pretty sure what was happening was the Wampus cat was probably looking at something on its cell phone that wasn't, PG. And she walked up, startled the shit out of her. Oh God! And she tried to hold the phone and kept smacking itself in the face, trying to get the phone out of the way. Like, no, don't look at this.
Mothra.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that Mothman Prophecies. I heard it was
That's the
good.
dumbest movie ever.
I heard it was good.
You injured cool.
So, if anybody doesn't know what the Mothman looks like,
Just go to Google and check out.
No
images.
one still does. Look at all those pictures.
I'm on Google.
There's
I
like
was telling them to
16
do
pictures
that.
Oh.
there that are all different.
I might have a book too.
This is actually cool. I like this picture, this depiction of him. Which one is the double one? Over there. Which one is it? To show the screen.
Man, it's number 2.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Is it 1? It's 1.
It's. Oh my gosh.
I know you think I'd know my own setup.
Don't
Yeah.
show the search history.
Anyway, so here is the Mothman.
Good, cut
You
that
see,
out.
this is the things I was.
That book behind that controller
This
on
is the
bottom.
things I was talking about on his head. They're like feathery, like
The other one?
No, on the bottom.
feathery, whatever those
tendrils.
are. The
Whatever
red
moths
eyes, and then he's got the claws and the big wings.
So
Here's the statue of him.
He's the Mothman.
Mothman. If you guys want to read more about Mothman, by the way, I'll put this up here. This book, Mothman,
Oh, Mothman bobblehead.
Encounters with Flying Humanoids by Ken Gerhard. Ken's an awesome guy. I have pretty much all of his books, I think, except for the last few, and all of them autographed because he's dope and sent me autographed books when I bought them from him. Awesome guy. You can check him out. He's frequently on like the History Channel and stuff. But yeah, Encounters with Flying Humanoids. Ken Gerhard. This is not sponsored. I'm actually a big fan. Love the guy. He's a nice dude. Friends with him on Facebook. Anyway, so this episode is brought to you by nothing. We don't have any sponsors yet because we don't have enough
I thought
followers.
we did. Place down
Just kidding.
town.
We do have a sponsor.
Yeah.
We have a sponsor back! Manitoba's 2 Street Music in Eureka, California for all of your musical needs and also a Funko Pop distributor. Which isn't a drug, it's little bobbleheads.
Are
And
they
they have
bobbleheads?
a lot of
I'm gonna do
cool
bobble.
instruments
They
and
do.
things like that.
And it's haunted.
Yeah.
And you can go back and watch our episode where we ghost hunted at
We
Manitoba's
might
2
do
Street
it
Music.
again, hopefully.
Hopefully soon. We'll
Hopefully
see.
this summer we'll be able to do that.
Word. Or around Halloween anyway, would be great. So folks, thanks again. Again, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Check out our Facebook page, Vanishing Gates on Facebook. Yeah, aside from that, we'll see you guys next week with some more Appalachian Mountain stories or things that happened there. I don't know what we're going to call this series. We're just going to talk about it.
Tales from the Appalachians.
Cryptid, creepy stories.
Cryptid, creepy cucumbers.
Things that aren't
could open a salad
the
place
insane
like
amount of
that.
crackheads that live
Creepy
there.
Cupid. Creepy Cupid. Creepy cryptid cucumbers.
There you go. And we didn't even have you read the Mothman erotic fiction
No,
this time.
let's save that for next time.
Next time, Katie Cat will read the erotic Mothman fan fiction for you.
I'll do it. I did the Krampus, so I'll do that too.
Oh my God! No.
Didn't you do Goatman as well?
No, I only did Krampus.
I thought you read the Goatman one part way and like couldn't get through it.
No, I only did Krampus.
Okay.
Krampus?
Krampus.
We should do that after this and do a separate episode for it. Just
What about Krampus's
individually.
mom?
Anyway, Gryla the Christmas Troll. That's coming up after Halloween.
Yeah,
See you guys.
way after.
Anyway, we'll talk to you next week. Good night and good nightmares.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.